Welcome to the Taproom Exclusive. I'm your host, Dean Zarbaugh. Today's show is sponsored by House of Helga. Are you a brewery looking for some vibrant, stunning artwork to slap on that freshly bottled or canned beer? Or maybe you're starting a brewery and need help coming up with a logo. If so, contact House of Helga for all your design needs. They've worked with Masthead, Streetside, and yours truly here at the Taproom Exclusive. You can check out Kyla's entire portfolio of incredible work at houseohelga.com. On today's show, I chat with Fatheads Brewery's Danny Young about their classic Head Hunter IPA. But first, a taste of what's going on in the craft beer world with this week's Tasting Glass, brought to you by Northeast Ohio Craft Brewery News. In case you missed it, the Cincinnati Business Courier is reporting that Cincinnati's Rhinegeist Brewery will be kicking off an employee stock ownership program starting in the middle of 2020. Rhinegeist co-owner and president Bob Bonder confirmed the news to the online outlet Brewbound. This is great news for all the folks at Rhinegeist and comes just a couple years after Cleveland's Great Lakes Brewing Company began an employee stock ownership program as well. It was also announced last week that Cleveland's Saucy Brew Works will be expanding with a new location in Independence. According to Freshwater Cleveland, the $17.5 million project will allow the brewery to brew nearly 60,000 barrels with the capability of expanding. Outside Saucy Brew Works will have a 16,000 square foot patio with a full bar, natural gas heating systems, and a fireplace. They'll have a playground area for kids as well as walking paths around the building. This is excellent news for Saucy Brew. I can't wait to check out the new facility. And don't forget, next time you're at a Cavs game, be sure to stop by Saucy's Bar inside the Romo Fijo. That is the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse for people who aren't in the know. Pennsylvania's Voodoo Brewery opened the doors to its new Cleveland Heights location over the past weekend. Voodoo Cleveland's regular hours will be Monday through Thursday, 3 p.m. till 11 p.m., Friday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to midnight, and Sunday they will be open 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Food service will be Monday through Sunday, with Sunday including a rotating brunch menu. Congrats to Don, Kathy, and everyone on the Voodoo Cleveland team. I can't wait to get out there and check it out. For more information, please visit Voodoo Brewery Cleveland's Facebook page. Illyria's Franklin Brewing Company announced on their Facebook page over the weekend that plans to open in Medina's Foundry Social would not be moving forward, but Franklin said that they will continue to look for ways to expand their brewery. According to Mark Bona of Cleveland.com, the Foundry Social will become home to MAD Brewing Company. MAD stands for Making a Difference Brewing, and it will give independent craft brewers the opportunity to brew commercially. Per Mark's article, a brewer will be selected by MAD to take over the brewery on a monthly basis. One of the beers from the guest brewmaster will stay on tap for 3 months. For more information, check out Mark's article on Cleveland.com. And that's all for this week's Tasting Glass. My interview with downtown Danny Young from Fatheads Brewery in Middleburg Heights, Ohio, is up next. Welcome back to the Taproom Exclusive. I'm Dean Zarbaugh. I'm here at Fatheads in Middleburg Heights at the new facility. I love this new facility. I'm with Danny Young. Danny, thank you so much for being here today. You guys just got some great news. We're sitting here a couple days off of you guys getting some bling over at the GABF.
Yeah, absolutely.
What'd you guys win?
So pretty spectacular. That'll make 11 years in a row for us. 24 medals over the course of 11 years consecutively at GABF. That's insane. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So this last time here, last week, we took a 1, a 2, and a 3. So first place was Bonehead Red, or Imperial Red, that took cold. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Second place was Hop Stalker, our wet hop IPA, which I'd be interested to see what beat it, because the word around the brewery is Hop Stalker this year is something else. So yeah, it should be pretty incredible. Yeah,
nice. I can't wait to win that. And what was the bronze?
We got Up in Smoke.
Ooh, what's that?
Yeah, so it's one of our smoked beers that we do. It's a German style, dark ale, and it's smoked nice and bright. It's delicious.
Nice.
I was surprised that we sent it this year, but obviously it was a great idea too. The beer's incredible.
I'm always a little hesitant with smoked beers, but I always like to give them a try. And then, even if I don't like them, I know if it's a well-made beer.
This one's very well-rounded. Yeah, so it's not overtly smoked. It's not a bomb in your mouth. It's nice and robust. It still has a degree of quenching to it, with still that nice smoked profile on it. So it's delicious. Yeah.
So, like I said, we're sitting here at this new facility. You guys moved here, is it over a year ago?
Just over a year, yeah. August of 2018.
So what was the impetus of moving over here? Just to get the bigger space?
Yeah, so we definitely needed some more room. We were running full out at the other brewery, and with that, our tank space was pretty preoccupied, and we were booked out for the next month at a time with our tank schedules and stuff. So also, it's just it's a reflection of the consumer and people, the way that people receive our beer and want our beer. So we moved from that facility, which is just over a mile down the road from here. We moved here, like I said, August 2018, and it's a big change. Obviously, we're at 75,000 square feet here compared to just a fraction of that over at the other place. So the majority of the building is, as you can come and see, is the brewery itself. So yeah, coming over here, it was beer first and foremost. We wanted to make more to be able to share with everybody. So this was step one.
It's fun. I talk to people at work about it, and I try to give, if they haven't been here, I try to give them an idea of the space. I work at a grocery store.
Right.
I'm like, it's bigger than the store you're currently standing in.
It is, yeah.
And that usually seems to shock them, and I'm like, no, but I'm 100% serious.
Right.
Like,
it is. It is. I mean, and the way that it's built, not only square footage wise, but we wanted it modeled after a beer hall, a German style beer hall, where it's a very communal space for people to come and enjoy, laugh with your friends, and meet new people, and come and enjoy some fantastic beer. So with that initial room that you walk into is substantially sized. It's got the big ceiling on it. It's 2 stories essentially. It links up with our upstairs offices overlooking the beer hall, and then you walk around the corner, and it's tight and cozy. The corridors where the lab is and everything like that, and our open top fermentation room and our barrel room that we're sitting in right now, our events room. And then you peek into the brewery, and it opens right back up again. So
it's so cool. And it's nice that you guys did the self-guided tour idea. You don't see that a lot. I don't know if I've seen it ever.
Yeah, I know a couple breweries that have similar ones. I think Trogs is set up similarly. Okay. I've never been there myself, but I've heard that they are. But yeah, it's cool because people can come. We're open at 11 o'clock every day for lunch, so that's prime brewing hours. Not only brewing hours, which you can see all the time, considering our brew deck is above the bar, but our cellar times. You can see the guys. You can peek back and see the guys in the cellar, and especially our kegging line, our canning line, and our bottling line are all within plain sight.
Yeah, it's fun to watch it all go. It makes you feel a little closer to the product when you're drinking it, and it's just really cool. What's the capacity here now?
So beer wise, we can do 40,000 barrels.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, it's quite the step up. We almost tripled our capacity with the expansion. We're not going to get to 40,000 this year, obviously, or over the course of the first year.
You got to gradually build it up.
100%. I mean, there's a bunch of factors that go into it. It's not like filling up a gas tank.
Right, absolutely. You got to kind of gradually step up and take it incrementally and do everything.
There's the analogy that I use is that it's trying to bake one cupcake and then trying to bake a wedding cake.
Yeah.
Things are going to go awry along the way, and there's a lot of troubleshooting at first, but we have some amazing brewers and cellarmen, and our brewmaster, obviously Matt, is a mad scientist, genius when it comes to the beer. So, no, I'm fully confident and proud and happy of the boys in the brewery. Without them, I don't have a job. They're making unbelievable beer for us and the rest of the boys on the sales team to push. So.
Oh, absolutely. It's not hard to sell Fatheads. So when this started, you've been here for a minute. What was sort of the idea in the beginning? It's not like it is now where there's this saturation of the market. Like, somebody sees a lot of breweries, they can kind of get the idea, maybe I want to start my own. But back when Fathead started, there wasn't this.
No, there were only a handful, especially in the northern, northeastern Ohio regions where we are now, and even up into the city. There's been Great Lakes that was leading the way for a long time, 88, I think. And then we started making beer in North Olmsted in 2009, and I don't know that I've ever sat down and had an intimate conversation with Matt about his whole maybe philosophical inspiration behind opening up his spot, but I think I can speak on his behalf, or at least what I've gathered from my time here at Fatheads, is that it's always been about the beer. So Matt is dedicated to a quality product. He wants to brew world-class beer at a substantial rate, substantial size, to be able to share with people. So I think a big thing and a big cultural thing at Fatheads is that our beer is really an extension of ourselves. It's something that we take our time to curate and craft. It is our craft. It's our art form. And the biggest thing is being able to share it with you, but also being able to deliver, like I said, that world-class, unbelievable beer every single time. Absolutely. Has always kind of been the driving force.
Yeah, like I know when I drink a Fatheads beer in this 6-pack and I get one like 6 months down the road, it's going to be the near perfect exact same. And the quality control that you guys run here is just absolutely insane.
Yeah, so I think that's a big thing. Consistency, obviously, that's what makes those enormous. I mean, in respects to the big macro breweries, that's what makes them so impressive, is that they make hundreds of thousands of barrels a year, and every single one tastes the exact same. So that down onto a scale like us, we have to do that. So we make good beer. We always have made good beer, and we set that precedent for ourselves. So in order to maintain the reputation we have and also the integrity that we want towards our beer, we try our best to maintain that consistency, and that is a testament to our quality control lab and our brewers, and just trusting our process and working through it every day.
Absolutely. You guys work a lot with the community around here. I know Trailhead is a big thing for you guys. You donate some of it back to the Cleveland Metro Parks. Talk a little bit about how involved you guys are with the community and all that.
It's on every level, really. So, and it's not only in Cleveland; it's everywhere we go. So we have 10 reps now. 4 of them are in Ohio, 5 of them are in Pennsylvania, and then we have one in upstate New York, Rochester area. Yeah, so that's where all the places you can get our beer. But we try to interact our markets, especially. We're special at Fatheads because we have the duality of a home market. The name Fatheads and the institution itself from the beginning, 92, was just a saloon in the south side of Pittsburgh, just a craft beer bar, which was impressive at that time. 92, there weren't too many things as a craft beer bar back then. So we have the like I said, the unique duality of having 2 home markets, one being in Cleveland, one being in Pittsburgh. We're loved very much so, like locals to there. But we're in Indianapolis too, and upstate New York. A big approach for us is creating brand love, and a way that is rewarding for us to do that is to engage the communities that we're in. So a big one here in Cleveland, as you mentioned, is Trailhead. Matt, he's a big avid mountain biker. He drives his truck around. He's got his bike with him all the time. Yeah, all the time. And I've never been with him, but I know guys that have been, and I guess he's pretty good at it. So with that, he wanted to take one of his own passions and kind of collide it with another one of his passions, which was beer. So a certain percentage of that beer sales, Trailhead Pale Ale, a certain percent of that beer sales goes to the development and sustainability of the Cleveland Metro Parks mountain bike trails. And there's a couple tens of, I think it's like upwards of 60 miles of mountain bike trails across all the parks. Yeah, it's incredible. So I know over the course of the last 3 years, that 3.5 years that I've been working with Fatheads, I know we've donated just over $100,000 back to the. So it's even it's stuff like that on a larger scale, but it also comes down to me. I know 2 weeks ago I did an event with the Parma Animal Shelter, and we were able to raise $1,000 for them.
That's amazing.
And one Thursday night at a bar. Yeah, absolutely. So it's just coming and engaging our communities like that and giving back to it. It's definitely important because the community are the ones that have made us who we are today. Without them, none of this is possible. They're the ones that drink our beer, obviously.
Right.
So we're constantly looking at ways to interact, give back, and just definitely be a partner to the ones that have been partners to us.
Absolutely. So let's get into the beer a little bit. Obviously, let's start with Head Hunter.
Yeah.
It's obviously it's the one that I was introduced to Fatheads on.
Same.
And it's the one that out of all of them I still love.
Right.
Probably the most, although it's hard to pick for me.
Me
too. So if there's anybody listening who has not had a Head Hunter,
you're a fool.
Yes. Talk a little bit about what the profile is like. Educate somebody who might not have had Head Hunter, which might be hard to believe. What's the profile in this?
Right. So Head Hunters, it's kind of been our workhorse here for a long time, and it's also a beer that we're we're really proud of, obviously, and it's one that we've institutionalized ourselves on. So it's a big, aggressive West Coast style IPA. That's the best way I can describe it. Its slogan itself is uncivilized and aggressive, and that's exactly what it is. It's just an aggressively hopped 7.5% IPA with 87 IBUs, and it's just true to the style. It's a nice, crisp, refreshing, piney, zippy West Coast IPA.
Nice. It's synonymous to West Coast style to me. Like if somebody comes in and asks, okay, I'm looking for this, West Coast style, I gotta go straight.
Right.
First
absolutely.
one, boom, the Head Hunter.
It's delicious, and especially for a local.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best West Coast. There's a lot of other great ones that are coming out of breweries in Cleveland, but I think ours kind of stands tall amongst them. And that's a testament to Matt. It's his recipe. He curated himself.
Yeah, it's a great beer, and I love that it moved recently. Well, over a year ago now, from 4-packs to 6-packs. What was the idea behind moving those, increasing the package size on that from 4 to 6?
Yeah, so that's definitely a reflection of the market. The trend and the consistency and where the most IPAs were being bought were in a 6-pack format. So Head Hunter being long-standing 4-pack, we thought it would be advantageous for us to get it to a 6-pack. It's just more, and at the price point that we got it at, it's a more friendly and approachable. You get 6 bottles actually, and at the price that we got it at, it was like $1 a bottle more.
Yeah.
So, or a $1 for 2 bottles, which was amazing. So, keeping it in the bottle was definitely part of the nostalgia thing. It's a beer that we've had for a long time, one of the first beers that we packaged, and the one that's been doing well for us for a long, long time, and that originally came in a bottle. So It stayed in bottle for that reason, but we wanted to give people more. So we moved it, we changed formats, and it was probably one of the smartest things that we've done. Our rate of sale on Fatheads, it's just been flying through the roof.
Absolutely, and it's nice to get that little extra in there, and go home and I got 2 more bottles.
Yeah,
now,
right. Absolutely.
It's such an enjoyable beer that I want to get as many as I can. And to the point that you were saying about keeping it in bottles, it makes sense because as I get that there's this big can movement in the industry, and obviously you guys can too.
Yeah.
We'll get into more of that later. But there is still this association with certain things, and certain people can't quite make that jump to the cans, and I get it. Everybody drinks stuff differently.
100%.
And so it's nice to make sure to know, okay, hey, my market isn't going to really grasp the cans right now, and keep it in the bottles, and that says a lot about you guys.
Definitely, yeah. So you touched on it. We have our canning line, so we just got that in. We opened up a lot of new brands to our cans, brands that we've never distributed before, what have you, and those are now out, and we have our own internal canning line, which is great because we're utilizing that we call it a gypsy canning line, where they used to bring their own equipment, hook up to our tanks, and then help us can that way. It was a much slower process. Obviously, it's a smaller machine. Ours is a monster now. But no, we definitely recognize that certain brands deserve certain packages. Like I said, Head Hunter and then Bumbleberry is one in a 6-pack that also stays because that's a nostalgic brand for us.
Absolutely.
It's one of our first. It's the #1 selling fruit beer in Ohio. So that one stayed in a bottle. And then also some of our premium 4-packs, with the exception of Hop Juju, we moved to a can. But, Spooky Tooth, Pit My Sleigh, Zeus Juice, and Sorcerer that came out this year, those ones are all old school Fatheads, tried and true, proven recipes that we thought deserved a bottle. But
absolutely,
that's not saying that our bottling line and our canning line are on the same par. When it comes to preservation and quality control of our beer. So no matter what you get, no matter what package, it's going to be fresh and delicious.
Yeah, absolutely. You got every packaging has its own ups and downs, and you just got to take it with it is.
Yeah.
And so if somebody's coming in here to eat, obviously you guys are known for the food as well as the beer. And they're getting a Head Hunter on draft.
Yeah.
What would you say is going to pair well with that food wise?
Definitely our wings.
Oh yeah.
Our wings are one of the I've done beer dinners and stuff, and I was like, they want to get fancy. I'm like, listen, you can boil it down to some buffalo chicken. Yeah, and it's really nice because especially if you get hot, it definitely pairs well with the bitterness of the IPA and also the resiny aspect of the hops that we use in the IPA. So definitely our wings, and then really any of our barbecue too, because our barbecue is very rich, and your Head Hunter with the IBUs being as substantial as they are is going to help cut through that richness.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you wanted to get out about Head Hunter or the background of Fatheads?
No, definitely. I think like you said, if you haven't had Head Hunter, you need to. You got to catch up for sure. It's definitely one that we're incredibly proud of, and one that, if there's one thing that Fatheads and Matt and the boys do well, we brew German beers really well, and we brew hoppy beers exceptionally well. So, and that's the one that started it all. So, yeah, check it out.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. Tune in next week for another all-new episode here at Fatheads Brewery.